So to my left is the XM Studios Thanos version 2 Solo. And to my right is a custom Thanos. I actually have 2 more custom Thanos and 2 more licensed Thanos at home. I just chose these 2 here because both of them has a Lady Death switch out or companion piece. I didn't have that on pre-order for the XM Thanos unfortunately, but I do have the switch out for the custom one. Like always, we will be talking about the concept, the quality for the paint and sculpt, and answer the question, who did it better? To begin, let's talk about the concept. The XM Thanos has a base similar to that of the Thanos spaceship with some alien bones scattered around it. You could also see some lava-looking stones on top of the base where Thanos stands. Thanos is on a taunting kind of pose, waiting for the next villain to attack him. Of course, he is wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. It won't be a Thanos statue without it. It does come with a light-up features, but I don't recall where I had placed the remote control for that. Also, this version of Thanos doesn't have any switch out, as this is the solo version only. All these switch outs, as I recall, only came with the exclusive version. Anyway, moving on to the custom Thanos, you get to choose between 2 versions, either the MCU or the comic version. Both sculpt are the same, it's just the color that differs. Mine right here is the comic version with a lighter blue tone, while the MCU version has a darker blue tone, kind of similar to the XM one actually. The base of the custom Thanos are a bunch of bones from random heroes, both from the Avengers and the X-Men. A little more colors to their suit would have made it easier to identify which hero is there and would have added more life. On top is we have a Mayan type of scribing. Lady Death would also sit here, but I misplaced the switch out here for the option to not display Lady Death. Then Thanos is on a very victorious looking pose. It does not come with any portrait switch out, but does have an extra Infinity Gauntlet switch out, which is my symbiote Spider-Man is holding back at home. It does have light up feature if you put the flashlight in the socket inside the gauntlet. Gotta say, you gotta give the concept to the custom one. The Dead Heroes is a nice touch, better in my opinion, but I would understand if you like the concept for the XM one better. Also, the custom Thanos is much more comic accurate than the XM one, especially when we talk about the scale later on. Plus, it is cheaper with Lady Death than the XM one, though if you have the XM Thanos and that exclusive, the presence on that is way more superior than the custom one. This is a museum type statue after all. Also, I consider this as the best museum Thanos statue. Well, it might be replaced soon by the new museum Thanos, but for now, he is the king. The XM one I won't consider as the best licensed Thanos, as that title belongs to the sideshow Thanos on Throne or the Thanos Bucket. Moving on, let's talk about the sculpt. The sculpt on the XM Thanos is very detailed. Lots of textures as well. The sculpt on him is much more mature looking than the one with the custom. There's just so much to look at in this statue. Even the textures on Thanos costumes has different kind of textures, which is very nice details. This is a very impressive sculpt for Thanos. Well, kinda like all the modern sculpts from XM. My only comment is the scale. As you can see, their heads, the custom one is significantly smaller than the XM one. It is because the XM one is overscaled. It's as if they used the MCU height of Thanos, which is around 9 feet tall. And here is a 1 3/5 scale portrait of Darkseid as a comparison. You just wouldn't notice the scale that much because Thanos is hunched down. As for the custom one, it is also has great details, especially on the fallen heroes at the base, but the attention to detail is nothing compared to XM. Even if you look at Thanos himself, the textures and details are too flat compared to that of XM. I think you all know where this is going, but my comment is this Thanos does have the right height for a comic accurate Thanos, so the anatomy is definitely perfect on this one. With all that said, gotta give the sculpt to the XM even with the wrong scale. It's just much more nice to look at. Non-comic readers will definitely appreciate it more than the comic accurate Thanos right here, so 1 point for the XM Thanos. Lastly is the paint. The XM Thanos has a much more appealing paint job in my opinion, with the silver or chrome coated skeletons, the green on the spaceship below, the satin blue or metallic looking blue that was used for Thanos. It's also more darker tones than the custom one. It's definitely not comic accurate. I think they are leaning much more to the MCU, although this outfit is based from the comics. As for the custom one, the base paint isn't as lively as the licensed one due to the fallen heroes were painted the same color as the dirt or soil, but the paint on Thanos is much more comic accurate to the one in the comics. Plus, the gem on the custom Thanos, they used translucent resin with different colors unlike the one on XM where they colored everything up. That would also be much more realistic in my opinion. With all that said, I gotta give the point to the custom one for this. It's much more comic accurate and much more vibrant than the XM one. Though the XM one is also pretty good and a nice variation for me since I do have a few other Thanos statues. I would also see other collectors picking the XM one more than the custom, as like I said, it's much more appealing with the darker tones. But to be honest, you don't see any more comic accurate painted Thanos. They are all MCU tone. That's why I like the custom one even more. With 2 points for the custom one, I think the custom one is the better Thanos among the two. Besides the concept and the paint, sculpt is also pretty good. It's just not on the same level as XM. XM did it better on that part. Plus, we have the scaling issue as well. And if you add the price in, I think it was around 2,000 US dollar for the XM Thanos and Death exclusive, and also a lot less for the custom one, plus you also have Death already. The details on Lady Death is also quite remarkable. The intricate details on her dress is really something to look at. If you want to check out my unboxing and review of the custom Thanos and Lady Death statue, you can look at the video right here. It's quite old, but my opinion should still be the same. Thanks for watching till the end. This is Carl, and see you in the next one.